There's a saying, you don't know what you've got until it's gone. We often hear it, but do we truly understand it? Life moves so fast, it's easy to forget how precious the simplest things really are. We get caught in the whirlwind of tasks, deadlines, and routines, and before we know it, we're taking things, people, moments, even our own time for granted. Here's one scenario. A typical morning in your life. You are sipping your coffee, glued to your screen. There's nothing wrong with your routine, nothing unusual. But here's the thing, you didn't even notice how peaceful this moment is. The soft hum of the cafe, the quiet buzz of the morning, the feeling of warmth in your hands as you hold the cup. It's all fleeting and you are missing it. We all do this. We take for granted the little moments. A warm drink, a quiet morning, a text from a friend. It's easy to dismiss these things because they feel small, unimportant. But what happens when they're no longer there? After your morning coffee, you are now heading to work. Your mind is elsewhere, lost in conversation. You pass a street musician playing an intricate tune, but your steps are hurried and your attention is elsewhere. You didn't stop to listen, to appreciate. Yet that music is a gift. That fleeting sound is part of the world you are moving through, but you are too busy to take it in. We do this in our lives too. Ignore the beauty in the world around us, thinking there will always be time for it. But life has a funny way of reminding us when we've taken things for granted. Now, let's talk about your colleague. A friend, perhaps. His presence is constant in your day, yet how much do you truly appreciate it? How often do we stop to thank those who make our lives a little easier, a little brighter? How often do we acknowledge the quiet sacrifices they make for us? It's easy to forget, until one day that friend is no longer there. Maybe it's a missed opportunity to share a joke, or the quiet understanding in a glance. It's only when something changes that we begin to realize how much we've overlooked, how much we've taken for granted. We spend years, sometimes decades, assuming that things, people, will always be the same. But nothing stays still. The people in our lives, the moments we think will last forever, they won't. And that's a truth we all have to face. Remember the times when you didn't feel the need to say thank you because it seemed so natural? The times you didn't feel the urgency to take a picture because you thought there would be more moments just like it? But what if there aren't? Here's another moment we overlook. It's a simple phone call. Maybe it's your mom calling you, asking how your day is going, just wanting to hear your voice. How many times do we brush off those calls, assuming there will always be time for another? We forget that our loved ones won't always be there, and one missed call could be a reminder that time is moving on, and so are we. Take dinner with your family, for example. You sit down together, but you're already thinking about tomorrow. What's on your to-do list? Your emails, your social media notifications. You're there, but you're not really there. The conversations around you aren't fully heard. The laughter at the table, the shared moments, they pass you by because you're too focused on something that isn't even real. A screen. What if tomorrow your loved ones couldn't sit beside you at the dinner table? What if today was the last meal you shared with them? Would you put down your phone and cherish the time you have? Or would you let it slip by unnoticed? And then there are moments that stop you in your tracks, like watching the sunset, for instance. You had walked this path 100 times before, never really noticing how beautiful the sky can be. But today you pause. You take in the colors, the quiet hum of the world, the breeze that brushes past your skin. It's only in this rare moment that you realize you have been so focused on everything else that you forgot to appreciate what's right in front of you. We all have these moments where life slows down and shows us what we've been missing. But how often do we take advantage of them? How often do we stop and just breathe, just feel the world around us? And then there's your elderly neighbor who's always sitting alone at the park bench. How many times have you passed her by, assuming she'll be there tomorrow? That she'll always be there, waiting to share a smile or a story? But one day she won't be. One day she'll be gone, and the park bench will be empty. And you'll wish you had taken a moment to sit beside her, to hear her stories, to listen to the wisdom she's collected over a lifetime. There's something powerful about realizing what we've taken for granted. It's not about regret. It's about awakening to the fact that time is precious. The moments we assume will always be there are fleeting. So why wait? Why put off showing love, expressing gratitude, or taking a step back to truly see the beauty in our lives? Maybe today is the day to change things, to stop rushing, stop taking things for granted, to savor the small moments, to listen to the music, appreciate the quiet mornings, answer that call, and be present with the people who matter most. Because life doesn't wait for us to catch up. It moves forward, whether we're paying attention or not. Don't take things for granted. Appreciate them. Cherish them while you still can. If you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. Cheers to positivity.